Difference a day makes. So we're 24 hours since, well, we're not 24 hours. I dropped this up here at about 3:30 last night, which was the end of the last video, and we're now up here Sunday morning, which is the next day. Because we've been trying to start her. We've got her on charge and got a monitor here just to see what's going on. Basically, start this at the beginning. A good while ago, I had an engine management light come on, which is to do with the EGR valve system. Took it into one garage to have it checked to see what it was, and basically they wanted to just change the EGR valve, which was quite dear for what it was. Been into another garage twice, 3 times. They've got the other garage has got the light to go off, but it's only stopped off for a couple of miles. He did comment about a bit of a misfire, a bit of a foot funny running when it went in to have. She just didn't feel right. She ended up having a new rear prop, and he mentioned about this, but didn't do anything about it. Which brings us up to last Saturday, when she turned over but failed to start. I sent it into them. They did a full service, pulled the EGR valve off, and I'd look at it and found it to be quite clean. But you guys have been watching me for a while. Might remember a video called Failed Then Failed Again, which I'll put a link in the description down there. When I had the EGR valve off, had a look at it, cleaned it all up, also did a bit of a chat through on the difference between a common rail engine as opposed to what I call like an old school engine. So if you want to go have a look at that, feel free. So which brings us pretty much up to date where we're up to now. Bought myself a code reader, so I'm not relying on the garage now. I can go do it, have a look at it myself, and hopefully if we've got customers that have an issue, we can do theirs, put theirs on my diagnostic, and help recoup some of the money back for this. It's one of them, it's a bit of a luxury, but hopefully, you know, it'll certainly help pay for it. Morning. Not so bad. So our plan is, I want to take the airflow meter off here, just have a look in there, see if there's anything gremlin in here. I bought some new pipe to replace the pipes here on the fuel filter. I'm also going to take the fuel filter off. Where are we? And we're going to put that in its place to prime it up and see if we can get it to fire and run. Now this is just being used as a test piece. I can't run it without this because it is the fuel filter and everything, and on an old school engine it would be a bad idea to run it without the fuel filter. On a common rail engine you're asking for a world of headaches. So I think that's about where we're up to with it now. So we'll start taking the airflow meter off, the air mass meter, airflow meter, and we'll put this in the line here. Hopefully by that time we'll have got a good bit of charge back in the battery, and we'll see what happens. So we've had the air mass meter off. You can see that's all nice and clean. Did hear stories of things getting stuck in it and causing problems, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. So we'll just stick that back on. fine. Right, so we'll remove them off there now. We'll take that off there. Battery's charger is off. Put them down in there. As you can see, we bypassed now the fuel filter and this priming mechanism, and we've gone on to that. We've got the ball here, which to me is pretty hard. Stop sniggering. I know exactly who I'm thinking of that will be sniggering at that comment, Mr. Casto. So, let's see, ignition on, we're in neutral. Camera lens I think is probably pretty disgusting, you can probably hardly see. Right, try giving that another couple of pumps. Let's see if you pump the right one. So there is a risk that we have got a bit of air in the system, so she might not necessarily want to fire up anyway. Put the charger back on a boost, just to give us a little bit more on you go, Bill. Put that in. Put that to fast/start charge. Right. So that's the starting well. I say we're not done by any means. We've got an engine management light on, that needs to be sorted out. I also have an extra added bonus thing to put on here to help with the EGR sorting up gunky up, which we'll go through in a minute. Right, so we're a bit more in, well, we're filling with the EGR system now. I'll say, as you can see, we've got quite a few bits off. So one thing I've always, well, not been keen on with these modern engines, the breather pipe is there and that runs down into here, into the air intake onto this pipe before it goes into the turbo. Which trouble is with that, as you can see down there, we can stretch it, you end up with oil in your turbo, in your intercooler, and then it gets worse when it's mixed with your EGR system, which comes out your manifold here through this piece here, which is an EGR cooler. We've got coolant pipes there that cools the temperature of the exhaust gas down before it goes through that pipe. Roundy, roundy, roundy. And then it's operated by this valve down here and goes into your inlet system, the inlet side of your manifold. Well, I say this is what I've got the fault on. pull the cooler off, just make sure the cooler's in good condition. Seems to be. So yeah, this whole thing with the oil going into around the engine instead of being expelled somewhere, I've never liked the idea, and I've bought something. I was originally going to put it on my truck, but I might put it on the wife's. We'll go over here. It's this little thing here, which is called an oil catch can, which basically you mount it somewhere in the engine bay, take your breather pipe off, which comes out the engine here, runs right through and into the intake here. This one's the same, runs through. So what is an oil catch can? What does it actually do? Well, there are simple basic ones which I'm not very keen on, but the one I've got, you see it with the top on now, top off. Yeah, air comes in there through this port, which has got a filter and a baffle on it, which separates the oil out, and the oil ends up in the bottom of here, and then it's only the fresh air that comes. Oh, I've got that the wrong way round, sorry. No, the oil air comes in there and comes in through that port and then goes out through the port with the filter on, out that port, and then it means that you've only got clean air that goes back into your inlet side. You haven't got the oil going and contaminating everything. The only downside of these oil catch cans is it means sort of you have to periodically empty them, about, depending on the size of the IG catch can, about every sort of 1,000 miles or so. So I'm going to get my girl back together and run her on the diagnostics, put the oil catch can on my wife's car and see where we get to. Still trying to figure out what to do with the fuel filter as well. We shall see. Right, so we're going to have a go at this debris thingy. I know we plugged it in down here somewhere. I don't quite know where we... I'll show you in a minute when I've got it plugged in. Right. Oh. So that is the diagnostic port. Where's my finger and where's the lead? There. Oh, it's alive. Okay. Right. I have no idea what I'm doing with this. I thought the vehicle had to be switched. It shouldn't have to be on. Let's get it somewhere comfy where you can work with it. Right. So, ODB. Okay. Waiting for vehicle to respond. Put the ignition on. Right. Linking. Communicating. You can see that on the screen there. Go. Mill status on. From this test. Nope. Right. Read codes. Stored codes. Here we go. Right, so unfortunately you can't see it on that screen. Open or short in the exhaust gas recirculation EGR sensor 5-volt reference circuit. Open or short in the exhaust gas recirculation EGR sensor ground circuit. Right. So how the hell can they clear that? Right. Pending codes. Exhaust gas recirculation flow excessive detected. Faulty delta pressure feedback of the EGR DPFE sensor. Blockage in the exhaust gas recirculation EGR tube. Or faulty exhaust gas recirculation EGR sensor. Permanent codes. Right. So we've still not got. Basically, this I'm not. This is going to end up getting cut down quite a bit. You'll miss a lot of this just because there's not really a lot to show. But basically, so you've got 3 lights here. Green light says all is okay. Yellow light says there's an error in there, and red light says we have a problem. Basically, just fire up. So you've got rid of said engine management light. But we've still got clouds of black smoke. So we haven't sorted the problem, we've just deleted to code the error on the system. I just realised my drill's on the top of the engine block as well, which is a very good idea. Silly boy. Shush. Right. So the advantage of this is it does what they call, just won't focus on it, live data. I'm going to have a read of the live data now. While that's not supported, it was supported. View freeze frames, but there's no freeze frames. Dear. Vehicle info. That's why it's not reading correctly. I'll now see if I can get the filter head in a functional position to be able to use without the primer. I was hoping I was going to peel this top off, which has got a button on, and find a split diaphragm. It is not the case. So the only other thing I can think is if one of these valves is wrong. So the next point of view is to grab hold of that, stick that in there, and hopefully peel it out. You know what, this isn't going to go so easy, is it? Oh, no, hang on. Oh yeah, you can see the loads there, can't you? I mean, I don't mind destroying this because it does seem to be the cause of the problem. There we go. Right. Got one little valve. And the mark I've left in with the what's saying, that seems alright. And the other little valve. Right, so basically get this right. Fuel comes in here, up that valve, down that little valve, and into the filter head. So I need to find a way of sealing that part. I can't figure out what's wrong with the damn thing. The only thing I can see is one of them little valves sticking. Any road, let's have a go. Right, so what we started this on Saturday. We're now Thursday. As you can see, we have a brand new filter head. I've also put a brand new pipe from the filter down into the high pressure pump, and a brand new pipe at the back there that runs down onto the steel pipe that comes up from the tank. So this big question, I've taken it for a road run. I've also lost where I've put the keys. They're in my pocket. They're in my bleeding pocket. So we all remember the fail to starts and turn that off. You probably hear he's running pretty sweet now. I still think she wants a set of glow plugs, which I ordered them off Nationwide car factors and ordered one instead of a set. So I'll pick them up hopefully at the weekend. Taking it for a run for a couple of miles. The engine management light hasn't come back on. She's having flat spots and rough running. That seems to have disappeared. So we seem to have sorted it without spending the £1,500 on having the injectors refurbed. Instead I've spent, I think it was £37 on a new fuel filter head and new fuel filter. So now Chestfile Machinery, my local dealership that I use a lot for my bits and pieces, are having an open day, which I'm hoping possibly could be next week's video. See you later.
Yeah.